Greetings, craft fam. How is everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel, Uncultured Purls. My name's Lucy. This is my quote-unquote podcast where I talk about knitting, crochet, diamond painting, anything craft-wise that I feel like doing. So thanks for joining me. Today is Saturday, July 22nd. It is an absolute scorcher outside. It's supposed to be 98 degrees. So we're officially in summer. Speaking of, you may notice if you've watched any of my other videos that I got a haircut. I could not deal with the long hair lifestyle anymore. It was just too much brushing, too much waiting for it to dry, all of that. So I decided to chop it, and now I'm going with the bob. I didn't even really style it today, because that's life, but it feels much cooler and takes a lot less time to get ready now. So if any of you are thinking about a haircut, 10 out of 10 would recommend. But let's talk about knitting, and then afterwards I will kind of ramble about other life things. But you can click off and go to a different video at that point if you want. I actually don't have that much to talk about in terms of knitting. I do not have any finished objects, unfortunately, but I have made progress, pretty good progress, on one project in particular. I'm going to show you my other project first because it's boring, so I'll just show you 5 seconds and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes. But did I call them finished objects? They're whips. They're work in progress. Works in progress is what I'm trying to say. So this one is my Muscle Burra hat, which I am doing in this super bright lime green color. This is the Linen Quill by Pearl Soho, and it's the Muscle Burra hat by Isolde Teague. I've not made much progress since last time. I probably did a few rows, but it probably doesn't look much different. So that's all there is to talk about that. I think it's looking good. It's gonna be nice when it's done, but have not had the opportunity to get too far on this one. And the reason I haven't is because I've been working on my other whip, which is the Penguono by Stephen West. So I'll show you what I've got. I am almost done. So close to being done, but I decided to just film this video before I finished. So if you saw the thumbnail, you kind of saw it, but here it is. She's got a lot of strings of, well, ends that I have not woven in, because I don't believe I've woven in a single end on this yet. But let me show you where I am right now. I am on the I-cord bind off. So here's my needle, and I've been doing the I-cord bind off just so all my stitches are on one needle and I have a stopper on the end of it, because instead of having the other needle tip on this and doing it that way, I decided to just take off my other needle tip. I guess it's kind of a little life hack if you are working on an I-cord edge, because of course if you're familiar with it, you know you're only moving 3 stitches at a time, so it's kind of like 3 steps forward and 2 steps back on repeat. So you only ever have a maximum of 3 stitches on this other needle. So you don't need it to be attached to anything. You just need to have 3 stitches right here, and then you slip them back to the left-hand side each time. And this I-cord edge is taking absolutely forever because that's just what they do. But the border goes all the way around the entire sweater. So here's where I started, and I've made my way all the way around the collar part, and now this is the bottom. And I have yet to go across the entire bottom and then up the other front, and then I will be done finally. Except for the fact that I then have to weave in all of the ends, and I mean, look on the inside of this. It's insane. I didn't weave in any, and usually I do weave in as I go. I'll, you know, take an hour here or there and catch up and do a few, but for whatever reason, I just didn't feel like doing that this time. So it's gonna take a while, probably 3 or 4 days if I'm honest, to actually weave all of them in. I said this last time, but I'll recap. So I'm doing it out of various scraps that I have. And so most of it is sock yarn, but also linen quill. It is all fingering weight yarns with various different contents. Like the linen quill is not a superwash yarn, but most of the sock yarns are. I decided I didn't really care that much whether I mixed and matched, so I decided to just use everything I had. And I kind of just went with the flow in terms of colors. Like here's the one side front panel. I just kind of switched when I felt like it. And here's the back. Oh, I haven't showed the back yet. So the back has the welts on it, and I did the same colors for the welts on either side. That was kind of the only coordination really that I did. There's the bottom, and here is the other side, the other front panel, and the bottom. I did try to do this pink edging around everything, but unfortunately this is all I have left, and I don't think it's gonna finish the border, so probably gonna have to switch to another color to make it work, and that'll be fine. I'm a little bit worried about the sizing. Probably when I'm holding it up, it looks okay. I mean, that looks like it fits me. I've tried it on a couple times, but I was too lazy to take my needle out and switch in scrap yarn or anything. And so it was a little hard to visualize because everything was kind of bunched up around the needle. So I'm a little unsure about the length. Because I mean, if you look at the back of this, like this part is the collar and this is the actual back panel, but that's not a super long garment, and I am quite tall. I'm 5'10". So there's a possibility that it's gonna be too short, but I just got really tired of doing this part. This is like the bottom where you are extending the length of the garment. And this was just taking a very long time. I think the pattern actually only calls for, I don't know, like 8 or 9 rows, which would have been around there. But I just kept going because I said, I'm tall, mine needs to be longer. But eventually I just got kind of tired of it, and I was like, yeah, I think that's good enough. So might I regret that terribly when I put it on and realized I should have been patient and kept going? Possibly. There's also, though, the possibility that when I block it, it'll get a lot bigger, because I think the linen quill does expand a lot when blocked. Not as sure about the various sock yarns. I don't think they stretch out a whole lot. So I don't know what's gonna happen when I block it. I think there's enough stretch in it that I kind of can pull it bigger if I need it to be bigger. But we're gonna see. Hopefully I will at least finish the border today or tomorrow. And then, like I said, weaving in all the ends. God only knows how long that's gonna take, but once it's done, I will block it, and in the next video, I'll do a try-on for you, and we'll find out how it fits. Honestly, I think that's pretty much all I have to talk about in terms of crafts. Sorry I have not diamond painted in a while. Those of you that are watching right now, you probably are knitters, so you may not care about the lack of diamond painting content. I've just kind of been doing what I want to do, which has only been a little bit of diamond painting, and I have yet to get the motivation to frame the one diamond painting piece that I did complete. And I really want to frame it because I want to hang it up and display it, but I need to do research on how to do that, and it's kind of just hasn't happened yet with all the life things going on. But someday I'm gonna do that. And the other thing for the future is that my sister told me about this idea. There are these things called woobles, I think. I hope that's what they're called. They are these little crochet soft toys, basically amigurumi, and you buy little kits. They're designed for novice crocheters. So it's a kit with everything you need and instructions, and you crochet up these little cute toys. I think they have a whole bunch of different themes, different like little characters. The ones my sister had, a couple of them were fruits, and then there were some that were animals, and they were very cute. And my sister and my niece bought a bunch of them, and my sister has made one so far, but her idea was that it might be fun for me to do one and talk about it on my channel, or maybe kind of like do a more vlog style where I'm, working on it and kind of explaining if anything's tricky about it, to kind of like walk through that maybe. So the next time I visit her, she's gonna give me one of those kits, and I will do that, which will be great because I actually haven't crocheted anything in quite a while, so that would be great. And I think that's it for crafting. So if that's all you're here for, peace out. Thank you for joining. I will see you next time. Please consider hitting the subscribe button and the like button if you are a fan. That'd be awesome. If you are knitting and you're bored and you just want someone to talk at you for a little bit longer, I will give you a little life update for the past few weeks. Not that anything that interesting has happened, but whatever. First off, I thought I was immune to COVID, okay? Because I did not catch it for 3.5 years, even 4 years. Yeah, basically 4 years of this pandemic Lovato that we've gone through. I thought, the vaccines worked great, and or maybe it was my blood type. I don't know. I had all these theories for why I couldn't get COVID. Well, it was all wrong. I did get COVID. So that was about, 3 weeks ago now that I got that. I was sick. I was okay. I mean, I had a fever, body aches, all of that, runny nose. I didn't get a cough until later, but I was pretty sick. It actually fell over Memorial Day weekend. So I was out, I think, for a couple days from work before that, and then the entire weekend I was just at home by myself being sad and eating ramen and all that. And then eventually I felt better, managed to go back to work, and the week after that I had this work training, so I was away. It was a pretty intense training where we had a bunch of work we had to do, and I was still kind of feeling sick. Like, I wasn't contagious anymore. It had been more than 10 days and most of my symptoms were better. But if you've had COVID, maybe you know, and I guess everyone's case is different. But for me, I was still not really feeling myself. I had a cough in the morning. Generally it was fine throughout the day, but every morning when I wake up, it's it's bad. And I just didn't really have the energy that I usually would have. But anyway, made it through. I did recover. Like I said, it's been, 3 or 4 weeks now, and I am on the other side. Don't think I really have any symptoms left now. So that's that. I was not immune. Hopefully now I have all the, antibodies or whatever. So I'll be protected for a little while at least. The other update, I am into running. I can't remember how much I've talked about this on podcast before, but I do run, and I have signed up for the Richmond Marathon. So I have never run a marathon in the past. I never really considered myself to be capable of something like that. But over the past couple years, as I've been running, I ran a half marathon in May, and after doing that, I kind of thought, well, maybe I actually could run a full marathon. Now granted, a full marathon's a heck of a lot longer than a half marathon. In fact, believe it or not, it's twice as long as a half marathon. But anyway, I digress. I signed up for the marathon training team. So we meet every Saturday to do a run. They provide you with a plan. So this is a specific team in the city where I live. You pay to join it, and they provide you with the marathon plan, and then every weekend there's a long run where everybody meets up, and then they provide assistance like water stops, and they have some free electrolyte things to test out if you want. They give you little treats and stuff. There are icy pops when you get back to the finish. So I've been doing that for the past 4 weeks, including today. Today we had a 7-mile run. It's been good. It's very early though. So we run at 6:30 in the morning, and you can choose Saturday or Sunday. I signed up for Saturday. So every Saturday I get up at 4:45 and eat my breakfast and get ready, drive over to the place where we meet, and then do the run. And I have a little ritual where afterwards I buy a pastry and an iced latte, and I enjoy that as, you know, my refueling. And it's been good. I've met a couple people that I've chatted with as we run, and so far so good. It's also involved 3 runs during the week, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Monday and Friday are rest days, and Sunday you're supposed to cross train. But I've been following the plan so far. I did not used to run consecutive days. Generally I would kind of either run every other day or like skip a couple days in between, because I really would only run maybe 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week sometimes only once a week. I don't know, I'm not the most dedicated runner, but I am trying to follow the plan pretty much exactly, because I don't want to end up on race day and wish that I had put more miles in earlier. So I'm trusting the process. I'm sticking to the plan. I am trying to hydrate because it is very hot. Now going at 6:30 in the morning, that helps. It's not really super hot yet. But when you're running, really anything over like 55 degrees feels hot, at least to me. So 75, 80 degrees at 7:30 a.m. is quite hot. Yeah, so I'll keep you in the loop if you're interested as far as my running efforts. The marathon itself is not until November 16th, so thankfully I've got a long time to train, but that's also a long time for things to go wrong. Like I could get some kind of an injury, I could trip, I could, you know, discover that my feet can't handle it, because I am having problems with one of my feet, unfortunately, but that's life. I'm gonna do the best I can. And oh, I was gonna talk about books. That's what I usually do. I read a book while I was sick with COVID. I may have mentioned before that I'm a big Stephen King fan. So I decided to read Cell by Stephen King, and I forgot to bring the book over, so I can't show it to you, but it is, I believe, from the 90s. It's about like a cyber attack type of thing that goes through people's cell phones. So everyone that was on their phone at the certain time when this pulse thing went out goes insane, like homicidally insane. So it's about a group of survivors trying to navigate this new world where people are kind of essentially zombies, but it's not a contagious zombie thing. It's just like everyone who had their phone to their ear is now a zombie, and then those who didn't are not. It was pretty good. It was not amazing. I think I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Not had a little voice crack. Not one of Stephen King's best, but I was entertained and it helped pass the time as I was sick. And then right now I am reading The Pelican Brief by what's his name, John Grisham. It's, you know, a classic. he's a lawyer writer. So this is about assassinations of Supreme Court justices. It's kind of like a solve the mystery, espionage, but everybody's a lawyer type of thing. So I've been enjoying it because I am a lawyer. It's fun to kind of like try to pick out the things that are accurate and then the things that aren't accurate. Not that I was ever a Supreme Court justice or clerk to a Supreme Court justice, so that part of it I really don't know if that's accurate or not. But there's stuff is in there about like law school, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Anyway, so I'm enjoying that so far. I gotta make some more progress. So many hobbies and not enough time, you know? It's a shame. I have to go to work every day and can't spend all my time knitting and reading and running like I would like to. That's it. I won't ramble anymore, I guess. So if you stuck around to the end, thank you. Like I said, please consider hitting subscribe. I hope you all are enjoying whatever projects you're working on, and I look forward to giving you another update as soon as I have finished this Penguono. So I will see you next time. Take care.